You know when you hear a song and it triggers a memory, it instantly takes you back to a particular person or place or moment. This podcast is all about that song and those memories. Welcome to That Takes Me Back, where we share stories that connect music and memories. We're your hosts, Cal and David.
And Maya Sage. And on today's episode...
Totally valid, honestly.
Yeah.
What is a Venus? Whereas...
Right, yeah, you know what a penis is.
Everybody...
Yeah. But Venus, okay. So I told that story as an icebreaker in the retreat, and everybody was like laughing.
That's great.
Crazy.
That's awesome.
You were not ostracized for saying penis.
No, I wasn't.
My oldest brother, Chris, came on the show.
Yeah, and would you mind saying Kristopher? Only because of the very next episode is going to be called Casey and Chris.
Right.
And it's going to be confusing.
Yeah,
so I'm going to try to differentiate.
Totally. Okay. My brother's name is Robert Kristopher. We call him Chris. And so we will say that this episode is about Kristopher.
I just wanted to say I really enjoyed meeting your brother for the first time.
Yeah.
And I thought he brought us some wonderfully personal songs. And I was really grateful that he wanted to share his story the way that he did with me and you.
Yeah, totally. He put some thought into the songs that he wanted to talk about, and I appreciate that. And it was, just a really cool journey through love lost and love gained.
Yeah, it was beautiful. And there was so much more in-depth and even more personal conversation that had to get cut out of the episode just because of time. So I just want to say for anyone that is interested in jumping on our Patreon, there's even more wonderfully insightful and spiritual conversation that took place.
Yeah, it was actually really cool to talk about the spirituality stuff with Chris.
It was. He felt really open, and we are both really open people, so I hope he enjoyed that aspect of it. Oh, yeah. Part of what I put here that we talked about that got cut out was all three of us shared our perspectives on what we think the soul is.
Oh, whoa.
How deep is that? I mean, that was just really cool.
See, now you can see why phone conversations with Chris last like at least 2 hours.
This recording with your brother Kristopher, we did have to do remotely since he lives all the way out in California.
Word.
So you will notice that it is a Zoom call.
Yeah, he sort of sounds like he's like on a phone.
Yeah, it sounds like he's on a phone, which is not really a big deal, but just a disclaimer there that the audio quality is a little bit different than it is when we are in our fancy schmancy 970 West studio where the audio quality is perfect.
That is the only reason why we're telling you this.
Yeah.
Is because our setup here is so great and we get to have it for free to us.
Yeah, which is amazing. We're so grateful for our friends here at the studio that set us up so nicely to record this podcast.
Yeah, and to us, I mean the whole public here
can
come in and use this for free.
Yeah. In fact, if you want more information on that, you should reach out to us.
Yeah,
we'll get it to you.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. All right. Well, we just want to say thank you again for Kristopher for coming on our show, and we hope you enjoy listening.
It is my great pleasure to introduce my oldest brother, Kristopher. Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Let's see. I was born and raised in Morrison. Well, not born in Morrison, Colorado, but raised in Morrison, Colorado mostly. Yeah, so I am a father of two, a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old.
Ouch.
Yes. One of them's trying to make his driving debut here pretty soon. And,
best of luck to you and your nerves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a lot harder than I thought it would be to sit in the car during those times. But it's coming along.
Nice.
And moved to California in 2013. Yeah, married to my wife Netta. Basically, I spend my time being a dad, husband, and an active member within the Baha'i faith.
Nice. Wonderful. Well, thank you for joining us today, taking time out of all of those very important things that you do.
Oh, yeah, I'm a teacher too, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. How long have you been doing that?
This is my 10th year teaching.
Oh, wow.
It's been 10 years? Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's been 10 years. Time does fly by.
All right.
Did you have any particular one song that jumped out at you first thing when Kellen brought this idea to you?
Not really. I did have to kind of think about it a bit. Something that happened, I was going through life, maybe during college and that sort of time. All of a sudden, I didn't like listening to music at all. I didn't. I listened to the radio, and like every single song is boring. I couldn't get into any song.
I've had times like that.
And I would try to dig in, and nothing seemed nice or good. I didn't care about it. And I would say that was the case for maybe almost 10 years.
Wow.
Something like that, where I just did not. I mean, it's nice to have music in the background, maybe, or, something here and there, but I wasn't investigating music, as, Kellen knows. And, we played music all together, and we're very much involved with music in the basement, listening to music with our parents. And that was a key part of life in a lot of ways. So the first thing I thought of was this lull that I had that was kind of interesting. I felt like there was a block. I couldn't get into any music at any point in time there.
Do you feel like there was something else going on? Like, were you depressed during that time, or was there, something that maybe triggered that, or did it seem independent?
That's interesting. I think it was in a very difficult time of life, for sure. It was maybe the beginning of, listening to Raffi because I had kids and, and listening to those songs.
And you didn't get into Raffi. Okay. I mean,
yeah. I've heard some of your
to
kids'
each their
music.
own.
I mean, I think that it'd be good to have some of your kids' music going instead of Raffi. Although I still like Raffi. I can't say I don't like Raffi. Yeah, so I think maybe it was a very difficult time, very stressful time in my life, which maybe is kind of strange, because you might think that music is the thing that needs that would be there during that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that for you and for me and for a lot of people, I think that listening to music is like pleasurable.
Right.
And like you like to listen to songs that are like good songs that you like to listen to. And then there's other people I feel like listen to music to like, dig into the sadness in a way, or dig into the stress, or and use it as like a sort of like release. But as far as I know about, what I know about you, it has been that, you want to like enjoy the music. Although I do think that your writing, though, your music writing has definitely come from angst and hardship. One of my very favorite songs like ever is Through Filtered Light that you wrote. And that's a sad song in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But it really spoke to me big time. And, so that was a song that it did make me feel like, I don't know if it made me feel, oh, I'm not alone in this, because I already knew that I wasn't like alone in it. But to hear those words and just have them fit like exactly the way that I felt.
Wow.
And I think that maybe it was partially that it did come from you, my older brother who I look up to, and whatnot, like made it more meaningful and more impactful. But it was one of those songs that I could just listen to and feel like the hurt in a way.
Wow.
Yeah, there was a lot of hurt. I remember the moment I actually shared that song with Mom and Dad.
Oof, Mom probably had a heart attack.
Yeah, they were both kind of crying and stuff. But yeah, so the music right there did help me get through.
So so writing it, helped you get through that stuff.
Did you maintain a relationship with writing music even during those times where you weren't really listening to it for pleasure very much?
Not really. I let Kellen write all the music and listen to his songs mostly. That was a lot of, as far as creativity and stuff like that goes. I didn't continue. I had a few songs here and there.
And you did help me out with my songs too, like
nice.
Writing some of that too. So you did have a little bit of a creative hand in that process.
You were maybe open to like, or helping write, but maybe not wanting to dredge up your own crap for writing.
Yeah. I don't know. It's very difficult to write a song, I feel like. And so I almost felt like, okay, well, how do I write a song now? I can't figure it out. Some sort of creative thing needs to somehow occur to me. some of the music has come that way.
Yeah, and we've just talked about how, like, I think for things like that, you have to be in a playful mindset. And if your life is stressful or you have a lot of things to be taken care of, like, you're not going to feel playful in the way that you need to be to, like, throw some stuff on paper or try out some chords or whatever it is. I don't write songs.
Right,
So I don't really know exactly how that goes.
Yeah,
but-
or you have to be like, I have to get this out of me and put it down on paper, or sing it out right now, or I'm gonna like explode
yeah,
or
like
something.
the true
Right,
desperation.
yeah.
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 And in
A
your
couple
case,
songs
like, yeah,
just
you're
came out like that.
Really?
right. Yeah, totally. I mean, I feel like Through Filtered Light must have been a little bit like that, just because of how raw it is. Like the feeling of it. Yeah, I remember playing my song "I'm Wasting Away" for Mom and Dad. And that was another time that they were like, "Ouch, ouch, they're so bad." And I'm like, "I know it does. Feel the pain with me."
Wow.
This is not a judgment on your parenting,
Yeah,
but here's the song.
right.
Yeah. It
I
is
hate
really
life.
cool that you guys have the relationship that you do have,
Yeah,
with music and with your parents and with music through your parents, et cetera, that you want to actually share those songs. Not just that you can, like if they happen to come watch you play that, but that you want to be that vulnerable with them. That's pretty cool.
yeah, it is special. I've always thought that we have a special relationship, and people are often surprised at the relationship in our family, just how our family dynamic. And yeah, we've had a lot of people who have sort of joined the family, been like, "Whoa, this is awesome! How you guys all like hang out and communicate and talk about cool stuff and deep stuff."
I think the one word that I've realized of the strength in which our family has is unity. I think we appreciate unity or value unity more than other, attributes, to the extent that it allows you to move through difficulty because you always know that you're together and, and you're different, but that's okay.
Right.
So I think unity is a nice thing that we've learned from probably our parents. My dad is very high on the unity, I think.
All right. Well, would you like to introduce the first song?
Sure, yeah. So, from that dry spell of not listening to music, I really wanted to. And then I was mostly listening to like, NPR or some podcasts. That was when I was very much into Radio Lab and,
Oh, nice.
and those sort of things, This American Life.
Word.
Nice.
And I didn't know what to bring up, but then, the time when music all of a sudden meant something to me again in such a heartfelt and dramatic way was actually a time when I wasn't sure to bring this up or not, but was the time when my now ex-wife decided to leave me.
Oh, of course you needed to find some songs through that.
So that was such a difficult time. And I realize now what kind of happened was that in my mind, we're just talking about our family, unity being the call word that we live by in a lot of ways. The idea of divorce or anything like that was completely out of my, conscious existence. I didn't even think that was possible.
Especially with the parents that you guys have and the love that they have between them. Of course, that's your example.
That example, I think, led to maybe some naivete. Is that how you say it?
Close enough.
And and having a bit of a ignorance about potential differences that might arise to a split. And I certainly didn't want the split, but we moved to Sacramento, and a year later, she decided she wanted to move on. And for me, it was hard to think about not having her, as a part of my life. But it was mostly difficult for the two kids, for me. So in introduction to my first song, it's actually, there was a month there that I swear I couldn't breathe deeper than just the shallowest of breaths for every single breath for a month. It was so traumatic for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then seeing it with my kids and that sort of thing. So the song that kind of would come on the radio is this song called "That Tear in My Heart" by 21 Pilots.
Sometimes you gotta bleed to know that you're alive and have a soul. But it takes someone to come around to show you how. She's the tear in my heart. I'm alive. She's the tear in my heart. I'm on fire. She's the tear in my heart. Take me higher than I've ever been. The songs on the radio are okay, but my taste in music is your face. And it takes a song to come around.
I remember you sending this out, and we were like, this is how I'm feeling right now. And I was like, poor mom, she's going to listen to this song and know that this is how you're feeling. And
Oh, wow. I sent this out. I didn't know that.
yeah, yep, I do remember that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So this song has actually a positive sense to it as well.
Right. Yeah. I can hear that. I like that it's a painful lyric and then it's almost an upbeat sound.
Yeah, and it's a tear in my heart, and I forget the exact lyric, but something along the lines of that to show you that you're alive.
Oh, yeah.
So almost the awakening or something that became very real. It's almost like in today's society, the difficulty is the fakeness or the not knowing what's real or how to really get into things. When something like that happens, all of a sudden life becomes very real.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that realness is like unavoidable.
Yeah.
Like there isn't
through this difficulty.
Right. There isn't like an escape from it, especially when you have the kids.
Yeah, and then the thing about that is that your emotions are pretty mixed up in terms of you have all this grief that you have to deal with saying goodbye to a relationship, but of course you have to bring some gratitude into the picture, right? Because I just happen to be the type of person that will walk through heartbreak and not regret that. Like I would usually do that over again if I was given the choice because it mattered and it was real, like you're saying, and you ended up with 2 kids out of it. And I know that heartbreak can be really confusing because it's like there can't be regret here, but then it's also like I just had to go through this like horrible pain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think that idea is just in life in general. It's just going to be filled with, there's going to be difficulties. There's going to be difficulties. And so how do you go through those difficulties? And it's not going to be fair. Sometimes you're the one making it not fair. Sometimes you're the one, feeling the brunt of the injustice. But life itself, at least on this plane, I don't think ends up with fairness all the way around.
Right.
And you got to be okay with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Did you have like a realization when you heard the song that this was like the snap out of that 10-year dry spell?
What happened is after I heard this song, I started listening to Pandora, which I never listened to any of these streaming things before. And
this newfangled technology.
Yeah. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
And
give me back my vinyl.
Yeah. So when I was listening, there was actually a quote in the Baha'i writings that brought me to, it's like, okay, let me think about music. The quote is, I have it here. "We verily have made music as a ladder for your souls, a means whereby they may be lifted up to the realm on high."
That's good.
Yeah, it's a way to almost climb to the heavens in a sense. So I started listening to Pandora and just digging in, and I forget what first stations that I was listening to, but then Band of Horses became this band that I never even heard of before. And it was just hitting all the right notes, all of their songs.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I love it when you find a new artist that is just, you just can't stop going through their discography and loving it.
It is funny how like it's almost like like finding like that special relationship in a way. Like, wow, like this band is making me feel things I've never felt before.
Yeah.
Or like, it's been so long since I've felt this way.
Yeah. It is
Yes,
kind of like
exactly.
a new lover.
No One's Gonna Love You. I just listened to them live. I was just at their
Oh yeah,
show.
you went to their show. Word.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Was it a good show?
Oh, it was so good. They
Awesome.
played this song.
It's looking like a limb torn or all together just taken apart, or wheeling through an endless fall. We are the ever-living ghost of what once was, but no one is ever gonna love you more than I do.
Yeah, this is such a heartbreaking song. It's so, but it really described the pain I was going through.
Yeah, it is another like it's describing the emotional pain as physical pain, like it's feeling like a limb torn
Yeah.
off.
And then this also reaching back, like no one's gonna love you more than I do. You know, it's almost this, you know, like why are you doing this? And reaching back.
Yeah, there's like a pleading.
So I was actually a stay-at-home dad at the time when she decided to leave, and so I needed to get a job. And so first job I could find was a part-time job with the state. And in that job, I was basically filing stuff. I was just filing, you know, and so I could put headphones on and just file all day long. And I repeated this song probably 20,000 times over and over and over. I only was playing that song, and I was just, you know, in the state. And every once in a while my boss would come by and I'd be like, nothing. You know,
He's like, oh, there's another one who just cannot stand filing. This is breaking people's souls.
Yeah. So I sent this song to my ex-wife saying, this is how I feel right now. She said almost exactly what you said, Maya. That
Oh, wow.
I was
Like she just took it
she
the
took it
flipped
the
way.
flipped way.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I did consider that the first time I listened to the song too, of like no one's ever gonna love you more than I do. Does sound like kind of a crappy thing to say
I feel
in
like
a way.
it is a little bit of a
You're trying to say backhanded compliment.
like a backhanded. Yeah, it's not necessarily the nicest thing to say. I don't think he's going for nice right there. It doesn't seem like.
Yeah.
I guess that's fair. Yeah.
Well, but I mean, maybe there's, maybe it's not intentionally mean either.
Yeah.
Like maybe there's just a lot of truth to it, which is also true. I mean, especially with a relationship with someone that also brings children. I mean, in a way, I think there is, you know, when you go through a lot with somebody and you've been with them, you know, through many evolutions of themselves, there's truth to it. There is no one who's going to love them like you did, maybe, right? I mean, there's a lot of truth to that. And maybe that isn't supposed to be mean, but it can hurt, right?
I think so. You know, at that time, when somebody's trying to leave you, I think everything that you say can and will be used against you. It doesn't matter what you say.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. There needs to be breakup Miranda rights, actually.
Please pardon this interruption. We just wanted to encourage you to follow us on whatever podcasting platform you use. It helps others discover our show. You can look forward to a new episode on the first of the month every month. If you want to hear an uncut interview 2 weeks early, join our Patreon. Now back to your regular scheduled programming. On the other hand, you did find some love of
I
music
did.
again.
You know, and Band of Horses was, again, you know, the entry to all kinds of music. And then I started listening to Phoenix and Okay, well, I said that as if there's a long list, but I think there is a list, but I can't remember all the
Yeah,
artists'
no,
names.
I feel that. I know how that works.
So
No, but that is cool. I mean, that makes sense that, I don't know, we've talked about this before in terms of what music is really meant to be or what good music does for people. And I feel like it makes sense that the door opened up again for you when you needed it. Like when you needed to like hear that heartbreak coming from somebody else and understanding that pain, like seeing it mirrored back at you. Like, yeah, not as much as a want and I want to find music, but oh my God, I need this like outlet.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. At that point, you were just sort of, your heart was open to it in a way that maybe it hadn't
it
been.
actually felt like I was going underground. And it's like, what? There's all this awesome music I didn't even know existed. This was, old music too. It's not like it was brand new at that time. It was old music. Some of your
Right.
listeners may remember our dad being on the podcast. I think that's what's interesting in my conversations with him. About once a week, have a nice conversation. It is interesting how parallel I feel, and I keep talking about this every time we talk. My divorce or that breakup is very similar to passing of our mom, his wife. So, and I think in a lot of ways, I've been thinking about this in terms of the inability to comprehend that something might happen. Is actually what trauma is. I've heard somebody say that, like that trauma is you can't place it within any sort of category, or it's not within a narrative or story that you can actually understand. It's like it's something that sits outside and it's unresolved. It doesn't have a place.
Yeah. So there's no place to put it. So there, you fall out of balance.
And you don't know what's left, what's right. You don't understand how to move forward with that trauma. I think music helps to start to paint a narrative for you. Like this nobody's going to love you as much as I do, or it's like a
more than I do.
It's because you want to know that other people have gone through it. It starts to place it within a narrative that's already been there. And you can start telling
Yeah.
the
So
story.
it was like a narrative. Right. It was a narrative that you didn't have for yourself prior to this. And so, but having that narrative sort of told to you through song allows that to become part of your narrative then. Wow. Hey, that's pretty deep, Chris.
That is actually really fascinating, and it's making me think of something else. Have any of you heard of the therapy EMDR therapy?
The
tactic?
tapping and that stuff. Yeah.
Tapping or walking, I think, can also do that. Basically, it's supposedly a way to activate both sides of your brain. And what's interesting is the way that one therapist explained this to me. You made me think of it because he very much would frame it as like a way to file away that trauma almost. When you are doing that bilateral stimulation and your whole brain is lit up, you're actually able to kind of dig in and access these traumatic memories, maybe through a different avenue so that it doesn't bring up quite as much of a like panic attack or whatever it may be, but you can access that trauma and then maybe have more power to then file it away into whatever part of your identity or your brain or your stories that you tell yourself about your life. Maybe you like have the control to put it where you can sit with it easier, I guess, and carry it through the rest of your life and not have it maybe making decisions for you or whatever it may be. I just think it's interesting because I do think that music has a way of activating both sides of your brain. And I'm not a neuroscientist, so like I'm sure there's a lot of this that I'm kind of pulling out of my ass, but music does do that, right?
I mean, yeah, I think it lights up all sorts of places in your brain. It connects all sorts of things. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wonder if it's another avenue of actually doing that, like digging up your trauma in this like safe place in this space of the song, just in the way that the EMDR would, almost allow you to look at it from outside of yourself a little bit, a little bit of distance from the emotions of the trauma itself.
An image that just popped in my head is that it like gives you like a bag to carry it in, like the trauma. So like, you still don't necessarily have like that narrative within you, but now you have a bag to have that you can carry it around with.
Yeah, I find that the story of the victimhood story is such a powerful story, and it's so easy to tell because it's so emotionally
Mm-hmm.
present when it happens that
Mm-hmm.
that story becomes your story immediately after a trauma, I think, after these sort of things.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I think that what the music helped me do was to move past a victimhood mindset and a victimhood storytelling to myself and get out of that and kind of move into a an understanding of the value of nobility of my soul and of other people's souls and the difficulty of life in general, the ups and downs, everybody's really trying, and placing it within a
Mm-hmm.
different framework that eventually, leads you to forgive, to understand, and place meaning in whatever that happened. Then it's not for me to necessarily understand the ins and outs because it wasn't me making all those decisions, but I can place it over there now like a bag, or like, okay,
Yeah.
that's over
Mm.
there. And so I have, even though I still see the remnants, the scars, and all those things, the
Right.
wound is not completely healed. I mean, even with my own kids, there might even
Of
still be
course.
continued difficulty because of this series of events.
Yeah. I mean, it was super
Mm-hmm.
difficult.
Yeah.
But that's really cool that the music helped so much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I can see that in the first song that you gave to us. The sound of that was very like empowering. It's that heartbreak, but it's also like you said, getting out of this happened to me and somebody broke my heart. Yes, that's true, but also I'm alive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There, that just little bit of like, I don't know, just the tiny bit of gratitude for the whole thing
Mm-hmm.
and the whole humanity of it,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I
You
just
have
had
another
one
song?
more kind of tie things maybe a little bit together here because I went from that hardship from divorce and that time, and it's not like it's completely left, but it actually opened up a door to meeting my wife that I have now. My wife that I love so much and have so many deep connections with. This song was, I'd never heard of Blue Rodeo before. They're from Canada, which of course Netta's from Canada, and she likes to rub that in your face. And
Mm-hmm.
this song was so good. I just love it. Was a connection between me and her that I love this song instantly. Try by Blue Rodeo.
Don't tell me I'm wrong, 'cause I've been watching every move that you made. Aren't you still in your makeup and heels? Trouble for the man that you take. Every time you walk in the room, I could never be sure of a smile. You were never the same way twice. I'm falling in love, oh, night after night. Oh, it's great, yes.
So she showed you this song.
She showed me this
I
song.
love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. So that's what the meaning.
Wow.
Of the
So
song
your
has. It's just
your,
ties
your
me
life
to
sort of
that.
went from just ruin and the depths of despair, and it was music, was the ladder that helped you climb out of it.
Yeah, I think music was definitely a key piece. And even all the music that I listened to during those trying times between separation and being married kind of has become a lot of what my kids listen to now.
Wow.
It's sort of their, baseline of music, in a lot of
Yeah.
ways.
So is there something
So-
particular about this song that hits you as compared to maybe other Blue Rodeo songs?
I just have to say really quick that I could see on your face with this song actually more than the other two. Like you lit up, and I'm sure it was mostly thinking about your wife, but I literally I saw your face light up. I kind of saw you get a different smile on your face than we've seen this whole episodes so far. So it obviously has that spark of making you think of when you fell in love, maybe.
Yes, that's actually to your question, Kellen. Yeah, it's more of just thinking about my wife
Yeah.
and that connection more than it is the song itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's one of her favorites of Olivia,
Okay.
so that's why I
Yeah.
chose this one.
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So will you tell us just a little bit about your wife and how you met and that story?
Yeah, so we're both on a dating website, believe it or not.
That's awesome.
Newfangled technology
Baha'i
again.
dating website. Yeah.
A Baha'i dating
the thing
website.
that everybody says doesn't work. It's a Baha'i dating
cool.
website. It's really bad.
Of course. That kind of makes sense, actually.
It's like the pictures just hardly even pop up, and they're all.
Oh, well, that probably worked in
grainy
your favor.
Yes, I was like, that is perfect. So, so because it's a Baha'i website for meeting somebody, it really cuts through a lot of the layers. Because are you going to, you don't have to do this, ask a person out or, see if they, want to take it to the part beyond friendship, that's all
Right.
that stuff is
Absolutely.
already kind of
Yeah, that
done.
part's done, and also the Baha'i thing is done. Like
And the Baha'i thing is
there
done.
aren't people going through your profile and being like Baha'i, copy paste. What the hell is Baha'i?
Right. Yeah.
Right. And I was definitely open to, not a Baha'i. I was on all the other dating apps and stuff, but so I went on, I don't know, like 50 dates, like first dates.
Yeah. Wow.
Like Adam
And then
Sandler.
Yeah.
It was really, like Adam Sandler. Yeah. None of them were dreams.
Yeah. Not the same
no.
one every time.
But yeah, so then she contacted me and then we, the first, if you know anything about the Baha'i faith, we exchanged emails first, and then I said, let's take this to Baha'i second base, and that would be a phone call. So we talked on the phone and didn't stop laughing the entire time. We were just laughing the whole time. It was so easy, so much laughter and depth.
Wow.
Immediately. So I was very hopeful at that moment, and I was thinking that this really could be it, even on that first phone call. And so she actually was in between jobs, and so she went down to a Baha'i temple in Chile.
Oh, wow.
Which always takes volunteers. And so she was going to volunteer down there for a while. And so we got to know each other through the time difference is actually quite different in Chile than it is here, even though it seems like it's just straight south, but it's not. And so we got to know each other through that. And then I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to marry you. And she's like, oh, you better not say that yet. So, and then her new job happened to have, her training was in the Bay Area. So I'm here in Sacramento. So that's only, an hour and a half away. So they sent her here. And then so we were able to get to know each other in person. And she met the kids and that sort of thing. Many times because she would come on a training from her work.
Cool.
So, and then they also sent her to Colorado for training. And then that's when she met mom and dad at that point in time. And within the Baha'i faith, you do ask for consent from the parents. And so she wanted to meet my parents and that sort of thing. And then I was asked my mom and dad for consent, and they're like, don't ask us for consent. And of course, we'll say yes. And I'm like, no, I really want you to know. I really want you to think about this. And I'm like, not really. They never. I don't know how seriously they took it.
Well, they probably took it seriously, but also at the end of the day, they're like, well, we're not going to deny anything that's making him happy. It's obvious that she makes you happy. So it's like, of course, they're going to support that. That's the kind of parents that they sound like. So.
Yeah, that's that unity of my dad again. It's just this whole whatever you want sort of thing. So yeah, then it was actually, we decided we wanted to get married, and then COVID hit and the travel restrictions were put everywhere.
And so she was in Canada at this point.
And she was in Canada, yeah. And it ended up being a year and a half before she could actually get here. So it took a long time. We figured we had a long time to just duck out of the whole marriage thing if we wanted to. So, but we eventually just knew that we would just wait it out and she would come, and she did.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. But also I just wanted to say that, I've known you my whole darn life, and, and I've heard a lot of this stuff, but it's still, it's nice to hear it again. And there's also just more depth to it than I had heard before.
yeah.
Yeah, we kind of took a little journey with you through your personal evolution. So that was really cool for me as someone who didn't know you before now.
Yeah. And I definitely,
It's an easy way to get deeper.
yeah, it really is.
There was this, for some reason, reminded me of a time we were on a retreat, and we were planning we're on a planning retreat. So there was a little icebreaker that was pick a song that you remember and it has a memory.
Oh, okay.
So every one of us, got on our phones, and I was trying to think of, one of them, and then I was, oh yeah, I remember this song. But it's a little bit graphic. Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Not sure because the song actually is how's it go? Like do 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 do, like I'm your Venus.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Your fire,
I'm your fire,
your desire.
Yeah. So I remember. So I chose that song, and it was because I remember in the backyard of when I was about 4 or 5, in the backyard with a friend who came up that lived down the street. I remember him being kind of a mean friend, but still he was a friend. and we were listening to that song when my mom had it blasting inside the house, and we were in the backyard so we could hear it. And we thought it was saying, I'm your penis. I'm your desire.
That's fair.
And we were just laughing like we were 4 years old. We're like, it says I'm your penis. That's so crazy.
And my mom liked this song? Whoa.
Mom likes this
That
song.
is pretty funny.
So yeah, so it took a while for me to realize that it says
Yeah.
Venus. So
Totally valid, honestly.
Yeah.
What is a Venus? Whereas,
Right. Yeah. You know what a penis
what a
is.
yeah, everybody.
yeah. But Venus, I was like, okay. So I told that story as an icebreaker in the retreat, and everybody was like laughing.
That's great.
Crazy.
That's awesome.
You were not ostracized for saying penis. Oh, that's
No,
good.
I wasn't ostracized at that point.
All right. Well, thank you once again, for coming on. I hope that you enjoyed it. I know we did.
We did, yes. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was nice. Thank you so much for having me share stories.
Yeah.
So well.
Thanks for tuning in to That Takes Me Back, broadcasting from 970 West Studio in beautiful Grand Junction, Colorado.
Today's episode was recorded, produced, and edited by your hosts, Kellen David and Maya Sage. Did you know that there's a lot of our conversation that doesn't make the final episode? If you want to hear full, uncut interviews, you can join our community on Patreon, where you could chat with fans of the show, guests of the show, as well as the hosts of the show. We would love to know where you're tuning in from. Our website is thattakesmeback.org, where you can find all of our episodes as well as a playlist of the songs we've had on the show. If you enjoyed listening, please share it with a friend.